Kia ora, my name is Ruth and I'm doing a BA of Defence at Massey, and I'm doing it long distance, and I thought since I already have a YouTube channel that I should probably put a video up there introducing myself to my tutors and my fellow classmates, because when you're just dealing with the written word and online introductions, it can be really hard to get a feeling for who you're dealing with. So I thought this would just be a bit more personable. And if you're a bit confused as to why someone called Ruth Hamilton is on a YouTube channel that's called Tiffany Winters, it's because a few years ago I was living in Whangarei, which is my birth town, my hometown, and I wrote a book called The Ghastly Greek Gods, which is stories of Greek mythology, written in a rather humorous, light vein, and I didn't really want to be associated with it. I move in quite conservative circles and I didn't really want to get in trouble, but I've since moved to Australia and I don't particularly care who knows that I wrote that book now. So yeah, that's why my YouTube channel is called Tiffany Winters. It's because of my book. So I am doing the BA of Defence because I really care about people, and I come from quite an interesting family. I think my dad's a scientist and my mum is a artist, so that gives me a very sort of unusual way of viewing the world, if you will. I think mum's got this very sort of artistic approach and dad has this very analytical approach, and it's just an interesting way of looking at the world. I have a real interest in diplomacy and international relations. I've travelled a bit. When I was a teenager, Dad moved the family to America. Initially we were living on the East Coast in Connecticut. He was doing his PhD, and then we transferred to Colorado in the Midwest, so that was an interesting experience. And I think I've developed a real keen interest in politics from living there, because I didn't have a visa. I did have a visa, but it was one of those visas where you really can't do much. But I had a library card, so I basically read my head off, and the section of the library I ended up stuck in was the American history section, which of course takes you straight into political philosophy and political science, and of course that's all connected to diplomacy, so that was really interesting. Before I sign out, I will just say one thing. I've noticed repeatedly on Stream in Massey that there are quite a few young mothers who are taking a course long distance, and I think that is incredibly brave, actually, and I think that they should really get a round of applause, because mothers work very hard. My mum has actually written a book about how hard it can be to raise small children. Yes, she actually wrote this book primarily about me. When I first read the manuscript, I was quite enraged, but she managed to calm me down. It's called I Told You Not to Climb the Cactus, and that is actually based on a time in my youth that I actually tried. Well, actually I succeeded. I climbed a cactus. Getting down was the problem. But that is I Told You Not to Climb the Cactus by Wendy Hamilton, and that's available on Amazon. I think the ebook's around about $4. So the reason I think that mums doing their course long distance would actually do well to get this book is it's a book written to encourage mums, and it's a book to just tell you how great you are doing the jobs you do, and of course to raise children and do a degree and all of these things is a huge job. So this book has been written for the purpose of encouraging mothers and telling them how great they are and making them feel wonderful. So if you feel like you're really drowning in your assignments and being a mother, and you feel like you sort of stink, you might want to consider getting this book and using it to sort of give yourself a nice cup of tea and read a bit of it. And it should really, I think this is why my mum wrote it. It should kind of give you an encouragement and keep you in the game, because it is definitely tough being a mother of young kids. I haven't done it myself, but by all accounts I was a tough kid to raise. So I suppose that's my way of doing penance now, is saying that if you are a young mum doing a long distance degree, this book might really help you. So that's I Told You Not to Climb the Cactus by Wendy Hamilton, and it's available on Amazon. So I'm going to keep trying and making these videos, because I think it's a nice way to interact with the other people, whether they be tutors or fellow students. And I'm going to try and make some videos on my learning process with the especially with the academic writing aspect. I have done a lot of writing. I got my first article published when I was 18 in America. Ooh, exciting stuff. And I've published 4 books. And I've got quite a few books I haven't published, but I will publish. So I'm pretty experienced with the whole writing process. But academic writing, of course, is something different. So as I nut that out, I'm going to try and make some videos about my discoveries, because maybe they can help other people. And of course, I also have dyslexia. So this is a whole interesting field to navigate when you have this problem with dyslexia. So I'm inclined to feel that if I can get books published, anyone can write. And I do actually believe that. I believe we're all writers because we all have tremendous ideas. So I'm going to try and pop up some videos about how I navigate this new journey of my life, and hopefully that will be helpful. Until the next time, this is me saying hello, and I shall look forward to meeting you all in more depth over the course of the course. That sounds a bit clunky. Bye bye.